Adam is our president here at our company, and I think I've got Adam on the line. Adam, you're with me.
Hey, Eric, I'm here. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be on this webinar today. We're going to be talking about the right questions to ask to make sure a business is right for you or not. And these questions that we have that we're going to talk about today, these can apply to any opportunity. And I know there are people on this webinar that are looking specifically at possibly a healthcare opportunity, or maybe specifically a medical billing opportunity, but there may be some on this webinar today that are just out there exploring all different kinds of things. And so these are some very important questions that you should ask any company, especially one that you just run across on the internet.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So we know that you found us on the internet. These are the questions that you should be asking us. As Adam said, these are the questions that you should just basically be asking just about any of the business opportunities or franchises that you're out there. And Adam, I know that we don't have this as a slide here, but I want you to take just a real brief moment here. Explain to everybody, because there's going to be people that are going to listen to this later, just real quickly explain us as we're different than as a business opportunity versus a franchise. Just touch on that real quickly.
Okay, sure. So we have developed a program that is very similar to a franchise in all of the support that we give you, all of the marketing assistance. We actually do a lot on the upfront side to help people get, clients. It's just that you don't have the kind of some of the negatives that a franchise model would have. Like with our opportunity, you don't have to pay any ongoing royalty fees or support fees or license renewals or anything like that. And we also don't restrict where you can do business. So that's a very important key difference there. Most franchises restrict you to a certain area. With our opportunity, you can actually talk with any potential client in any part of the United States and sign them up as a client for your company. So it's quite a big opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already got a question coming in here, Adam. Anthony's asking a question here: is what's happened to Patrick? Some changes at ABS?
I guess I'm not good enough.
No, actually, this is actually good. Anthony, you bring up a great point. First of all, Patrick is just taking a little bit of time off with his wife, Linda. They just had their, what was it, Adam, their 47th
wedding anniversary. Yes.
Yeah, 47th wedding anniversary this last week. So we felt like we ought to give him a little bit of time off. We figured that he can take a few days off here and there. But on the other hand, Anthony, I want you to know that that Patrick has got great people around him, and one of them is his son, Adam Phillips. And Adam's been part of this business for a long time, which basically just kind of leads me really into the first question that you should be asking about a company is about their history and their management team. So first of all, Adam, let's just start off with about American Business Systems. We've been in business for over 21 years, but your parents have been involved in this even longer than that. Why don't you kind of start taking this and explaining about the history of the company?
Yeah, sure. So, I guess technically I've been involved with the company since birth, but really I actually came on board full-time about 10 years ago now. And so what was going on prior to that is back in the 80s, the mid-80s, my mother and father actually started doing billing for doctors locally here in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. And they got to the point where they were doing really well, making good money, and they had friends and family members coming to them saying, "What are you guys doing? How can you afford these new cars and this new house and everything? What's going on?" And so my dad is kind of a marketing genius. He figured out, I can put together a program and teach people how to avoid the mistakes that we made when we were out trying to build a business. And so in '94 is when they formed American Business Systems, and we're obviously doing something right. We've been around for over 21 years. There's really no end in sight to the potential market that we see out there. I mean, we've realized early on that it really only takes a handful of clients to make a really good living doing this. And the fact that we have services for almost any specialty that you can think of that we'll talk about here in a moment, it really is a really good opportunity for the average person who maybe hasn't ever run a business before.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, as you're thinking about these questions, one of these questions, you really need to find out about the history of the company. As Adam has already said, for over 21 years, basically, as you can see here, we've graduated literally hundreds, if not thousands, of folks as entrepreneurs through the building training program. And really, Adam, as far as I'm still understanding, we're really one of the only companies out there that still does live training, live support, a lifetime of support, and a 100% money-back guarantee. I can't think of any other business opportunity or franchise that actually offers that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of companies, franchise or otherwise, that are going to let you sit through their entire live training class and then decide if it's right for you or not. I mean, that's really us pulling back the curtain and saying, here it is. Here's the good, the bad, and the ugly about this business, and here's all the money that you can make on all the different services, all the different potential, revenue streams, and we let people decide after the class, if it's going to be right for them or not. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, here's a picture of the beginnings of American Business System. There's your dad, your mom, you, and your sister out somewhere.
Yeah, I think that was actually our very first real vacation that we ever took. We actually got to go to Hawaii. I believe that's where that was.
That's awesome.
And I think those shorts, those swim shorts, are back in style now. I think.
They are, yeah. You could probably resell those on eBay or something and get a pretty penny for those.
Maybe the cat shirt too. I don't know.
The cat shirt. Well, folks, we want to kind of lead you on a little tour here about meeting us and the team. So, again, I think sometimes, Adam, that people jump through our website and obviously everybody wants to know how much they can make and really what the opportunity and how much it costs. But folks, again, we're kind of leading you to go to the section where it's about us, and you can look over here and click right there where it says Meet the Team, and I've got a screenshot here of that kind of broken down. So I pulled the people aside here on the rest of our team. So you want to kind of talk about this? Certainly there's a picture of your dad and your mom and you there in the middle, and then kind of talk about the rest of the people that are kind of surrounding the ABS family team.
Yeah, so these are some of the key players within the business, within the organization. So go to the website. You can read about bios on all of these different people that are involved with the company. But we've got some real heavy hitters on our team. As you can see on the left side over there, we've got some doctors that are actually a part of our organization and helping us, figure out the best services to offer, the best technologies and technology companies to work with. Offering a lot of good advice and assistance in that area because they've got a lot of experience on the practicing medicine side, which we don't have. Patrick was never a doctor, I was never a doctor, so we don't see it from that angle sometimes. We've got licensed coders on staff. We've got all kinds of people, marketing consultants, business consultants, people that are helping people like some people on this webinar explore the opportunity, business development coaches, creative directors. So we've got a very good, solid team with a lot of different people involved that have a very big commitment to the success of this company. So it's a good idea to any company that you're dealing with. You definitely want to explore and see who's in the background, behind the scenes running this thing.
And what the great thing about it is, if we kind of look at what we would say our core team, Adam, the average people that have been here at least almost 10 years. I mean, you've certainly been here for a long time. Jason kind of came in right after you, but I mean, myself, I'm going on 8 years, coming right at the first of the year. This is a team that's being built over longevity. So not only has the company in and of itself here been around for a long time, the people that are the core group of people here also, Jordan, Ransom as well. These we just don't have any turnover. So we've got a solid group of people here at American Business Systems.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's a lot of Phillipses on that page. There is a lot of family involved. And, so yeah, maybe there's a little nepotism going on, but you know what? We are all involved in this company for this long because we believe so much in it. We believe so much in the fact that we, with our, helping people get on board with American Business Systems, we are really truly affecting change in the healthcare industry. I mean, we are keeping doctors in private practice. We are improving revenues left and right for medical providers, and of course our licensees get the benefit in the process. So it's just a great deal all the way around.
Yeah, you got it, man. All right, so let's bump over here to this next question here about as we're kind of looking at this, is another question you need to really ask is, where do they stand with the Better Business Bureau or with any other types of foundational type of, how do we search out a business? I know, especially on the internet, Adam, people have got to be careful. We know that. We've actually done some webinars in the past on, how to distinguish a scam versus a real business. But, whenever we kind of all get down to it, the Better Business Bureau has pretty much been around forever. So talk a little bit about us maintaining this A+ rating here at the BBB.
Yeah, there's a lot of different places to read about reviews on companies nowadays, and one of them that's been there since the beginning is the Better Business Bureau. They're an institution that's been around for many, many, many years, and it's really difficult for a company that would be trying to scam people or rip people off. It would be really difficult to have an A+ rating like we do on our website. So the fact that we have an A+, we're very proud of that, and yeah, we're just glad that we've been able to maintain that all these years.
Yeah, and folks, let me also, I'm sure the eyes have gone through and kind of reading through there, and you see maybe right above our name where it says this business is not BBB accredited. Folks, all that means, you can go look that up on their website. It just means that we haven't actually joined it, and it's kind of a dual-edged sword. As Patrick looks at it, as Adam looks at it, as Jordan looks at it, it's a dual-edged sword. We don't want to just be a member so that we get the A+ rating. We want to have an A+ rating without any biasness, whether we are a member of the Better Business Bureau or not. So all that means is that's all that means. So if you want to go check that out. So we say this, without being a member of the Better Business Bureau and having an A+ rating really serves you the best as you're doing some of your due diligence and looking into a business. As we kind of keep going, Adam, I know that we've got to look at what a potential market for their services can be. And I know that you just mentioned just a moment ago there's so many different specialties that one particular licensee can actually go into. So as we look at this next screen here, I know it's kind of small print, but we tried to put as many of the different medical specialties that someone can actually bill for.
Yeah, you guys have to realize, not only, like I mentioned, we have services for every specialty on this screen and beyond. Even companies that are, basically any company that's filing a Medicare insurance claim form is a potential client. So, like durable medical equipment, for example, ambulance services. I mean, there's all kinds of things outside of just physicians and people that are, practicing medicine. So, couple that with the fact that there are no restrictions as far as a territory. You can market to anywhere, and a lot of times that works really well in this industry because doctors are actually really good at, referring licensees to their colleagues if they're doing a good job. And with our system, with our software, with our technology, doing a good job is actually pretty easy. So it's very, very, very big potential there. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, George is asking a question here. He does not see dentist on this list. So are you saying you can't do dentist?
Well, our system is designed to process billing for medical providers. So, dental is a whole different animal. It's a whole different set of codes, a different form, a different process. So if that's something that you want to do, we can help you find a system that will, a software that will work for that. Now, we do have ancillary services that dentists love. So I wouldn't say that they're not a potential market. They definitely are for some of our ancillary services. Yeah.
I do love what Patrick has to say. He says as soon as you've gotten every doctor in your area, you doing their billing, then go after the dentist.
Right, exactly, and that's going to take you a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, just stay with the, and if you think about it, and as you're doing your due diligence, because we're kind of talking about the services that you're able to provide for, you can also think about how many folks actually have medical insurance versus dental insurance. A lot of people have medical but no dental insurance, so there's not as much dental claims that you would have to file versus on the medical side anyway. So you need to really keep that in mind as you're kind of going through there. All right, well, everybody wants to know about competitors, Adam, and as we kind of talk about that, we need to talk about who our competitors are and what they're doing. So, you know, hey, we put this up once before. We thought we'd put it up here again, so I'm going to let you take your time to kind of go over this particular area about our competitor.
Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to get educated on medical billing terminology, you know, how to do claims, how to do codes. We'll talk about that. We actually make that really easy. The coding part is super easy with our system. You know, there's really only one other company out there called ClaimTech that has a similar program to what we provide, with a couple of real key differences. Okay, the key differences being, really, we are the only company in America that has put together a complete program that has live training, that has an online web-based system that's accessible anywhere in the world with an internet-connected device, that has lifetime support for free, $0 to you for lifetime support. And also, we have a money-back guarantee that I mentioned, where you can actually go through our entire live training class and get your money back. Now, there's also some pretty antiquated stuff as far as their marketing techniques. As you can see on this slide, they make recommendations that were really, you know, they were effective in the 80s. You know, things like creating a fax campaign, advertising in the yellow pages, billboards, that kind of stuff. Those are all completely antiquated methods that they teach, that ClaimTech teaches. So we have designed a dozen or so different methods that we are able to perfect, that we've perfected over the years, that are getting a much, much better response than some of those methods that we'll talk about here.
Sure, absolutely. And we don't want to, certainly not bashing them in any way. They've got a certain niche group that they're marketing to, but to really be true to what we want to say is that we do have a competitor out there. They have something very similar, but if you're looking for what you can actually do with the doctors on a web-based platform, certainly that's what we offer. And like Adam has said, lifetime of support, $0 for that. That's all part of what we do here for you at American Business Systems. One of the other things, when you're trying to find the right business for you, you want to be asking about how to do any local market research. And on our website, we actually have a way for you to do that. But really what you can just simply do is go in and just do, you know, use the old Google thing and just type in that medical practice. You could type in these keywords, medical practice and then your city. You could type in medical providers and your city. You can even look up who might be your competitors as well. Type in medical billing companies in your city or medical billing services in your city. Now, on our website, we actually have a place there where you can find doctors in your area. And that is just when you're doing your research, and we're going to show you that here in just a second, whenever you can see how much money you could possibly make with one doctor. It's under that same title there of where you can do some of your local research there. But Adam, I mean, we could just literally drive down the road. We'll find a medical practice just about anywhere on the corner. But as you said, what I'd like to try to do is expand this out even further. Folks, you have family and friends all over the country. And one of the gentlemen that I was working with last week, one of our licensees, his name's Terrence Patterson. He's got relatives down in Florida. He's up in Boston, and he's got put providers that he's billing for down in Florida just because of the working with his family down there. They got him the doctors, and actually he was able to give them a little something for getting that. So really, your market is just as huge as you want it to be. So that's one of those areas that you can do. And again, looking for the right business for you, ask about what makes your company products and services unique. Now, this is where we're actually going to start talking about our system, our platform, and some of the systems that it can do. So, Adam, as we get into this, let's really briefly just talk about the iClaim and the EMRX platform just real quickly. Why don't you share a little bit with everyone about our billing platform and electronic medical records platform?
Yeah, so this is what's going to set you apart from the other competition that's out there. And kind of going back on that slide that you showed just a minute ago about how to Google, medical billing companies in your area, do that, and what you'll find is websites that don't work or look crummy, phone numbers that may not work anymore, because there's a lot of people that attempt to do this type of business on their own. They go out and take a course on billing, they buy their own software, they probably try to print some marketing materials on their home computer, and they just immediately appear as a a home-based mom and pop operation. The doctors can tell right away that they don't really they're not very legitimate. So that's what's going to set you guys apart. Becoming a licensee of our company with this technology and the branding that we help you promote yourself using our branded product names and service names, and all of the printed materials are already created for you. The website that you get is created for you. So the doctors are not going to have any idea that you're working from home, even if you are. A lot of licensees are working from home still, even the ones that are making very, very high six-figure incomes. So yeah, a big part of what sets you apart is the technology and the fact that we have a fully integrated system that has a billing platform, but it's also full-blown practice management software that does a lot of other things aside from billing. It has an integrated electronic medical records system that the doctors will use, which is essentially allowing the doctors to go paperless. They don't have to deal with charts anymore, clipboards, none of that. And the system runs on any internet-connected device. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful on an iPad, runs on a Mac or a PC, in virtually any browser. So it's very user-friendly. The doctors and their staff love it. The licensees love it.
Yeah, and this gives the doctor, like Adam's saying, of not having to go through the paper charts, which they need to get off anyway. It gives them the opportunity to go more contemporary, if you want to say, more on the tech side, and that is that they can chart their patient visits by just using an iPad and then be able to click through that particular visit. Now, what a lot of doctors want to be able to do is be able to actually be engaged with their patients and not just turn it around and type it into some clunky big machine. They want to be able to be looking at patient eyeball to eyeball, talk to them about what they need to do about their particular illness, and then be able to chart and make their notes. And folks, I think a lot of times we as patients, we don't recognize the work that a doctor actually does. They'll see patients all day long, and because that they are required now to actually use an EMR system, electronic medical record system, a lot of doctors are still doing things on paper, and then after the office closes, they go back into their office and they start charting everything out electronically. Sometimes doctors don't get home till 7, 8 o'clock at nighttime, and sometimes it just to start that whole process all over the next day. Our system will actually help them chart quicker and get through their practice and be able to go home at a decent hour. But one of the other cool things about what the electronic medical record system actually has involved in it is a capability of not just only importing certain library, like you see here, this foot, but Adam, they can literally keep track of maybe a wound on a foot. For a lot of podiatrists, they like to do that. They can take a snapshot of that and then draw all over that iPad just using the system. And again, nothing's having to be loaded on their computer systems.
Yep, it's done right from their tablet device. The iPad has a built-in camera, as most of you may know. It has a, you may touch on this in a minute, but it has a Siri dictation functionality where they can dictate straight into the iPad, because a lot of doctors don't like to type at all. They like to talk into those old tape recorders. Hey, there it is. So it's got a dictation function, and we've tested it recently on all the medical terminology that's out there, and Siri is now, I think it's about 96% accurate on all of those crazy medical words and terms. So it's a very efficient system for that.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about it is not only can they do that, they can actually do some of the things from their iPhone. But this is actually an app, and I'm kind of glad we've kind of brought up the whole difference between now about an app versus a full-blown system. Now, folks, what you're looking at here is this gives the doctor an opportunity from their phone. So let's say that they're out and about. You're the patient. You have gone into your patient portal, which is also built into here. You've requested your medication to be refilled. The doctor can receive that basically anytime, anywhere from their phone, because it's going to go directly to their phone through this app. But Adam, why don't you talk real quickly about the difference between the mobile app for this medicine and the difference between about what the doctors are going to have actually on the iPad itself, because this is not actually an app; it's the full-blown system here.
Yeah. So just for those of you who are not familiar with different sizes of mobile devices and versus computer screens and that sort of thing, there's a lot of different ratios of screen size. And we have actually designed the electronic medical record system to look absolutely beautiful on an iPad. It fits perfectly on an iPad with you don't have to scroll or there's nothing cut off. All the buttons are very large and easy to press with a finger. Now, if you were to load that system on a small mobile phone, that experience would probably not be as good as if you used a tablet screen, because tablet screens are bigger. So that's why we developed this mobile app for doctors who want to quickly access certain things in the system. They don't have to zoom in and zoom out, and it's the experience wouldn't be very, very good on a smaller screen like that. So that's why they developed the mobile app, so they can quickly get to the places that they need to get to without having to you get their glasses out to to try to read the screen.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have asked, well, could the doctor just use their iPhones? They could, folks, but it's not designed for a doctor to see a patient from their iPhone. They do need a tablet size so that they can actually see. Again, however, if they're out and about, they're certainly not going to carry their iPads with them. And there's going to be some times where the doctor needs to fill a prescription, or again, if the patient actually asks for that, and the doctor's not in the office, they can literally do that from their.
Yeah, and just so you guys are aware, this system that we're talking about right now, we call it EMRX. That's the product name, and that is an integrated system with iClaim, the billing system, but it's a standalone product as well. So if a doctor wants to use it, they can, and you can sell that to them. Or if they want to use the EMRX system along with iClaim and use them all together, they can do that. Or if they don't want to use this EMR system, they have their own, that's fine too. We can still get their billing and provide billing services to them, whether or not they use what we're showing you here. So you have a lot of different options.
Yep, you certainly do. And one of the coolest functions that's really coming out, I was actually talking with a doctor yesterday, is this part, as we're looking right here now on the screen, and this is called an e-visit. Folks, if you haven't seen this, I would encourage you, if you're looking to get into this business, why don't you start looking up e-visits on the internet and finding out what's going on with that. We have a fully functional video chat e-visit that the doctor can see a patient at home. The doctor can see them after hours, maybe even on the weekends. Adam, this is the coolest thing, because the doctor can literally be in the EMRX side, see exactly what's going on with the patient's prior history, and then, if needed to be, fill prescriptions for there too as well.
Yeah, this is something that's actually very up and coming in the industry right now, and I think it's also known as telemedicine.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, so if you guys want to go out and do some research, start researching e-visit or telemedicine, and you'll see that there are more and more states that are being approved. Telemedicine is being approved as being covered under insurance plans. So this is great for rural areas that are really far away from physical doctor's offices, or just maybe very concentrated downtown areas where there's just a lot of patients trying to come in and see a doctor, and they can see some people a lot more quickly by just doing a telemedicine visit over their internet. So they just use their webcam, they're in front of their computer. I've actually seen a franchise opportunity. I talked with a gentleman who was looking at a franchise opportunity that was just telemedicine only, and it was kind of funny because they told the guy they were talking to, they said, yeah, we know telemedicine is not really big at the moment, but we know it's going to be, so that's why we created this franchise. And the franchise was like $100,000 or something to get into it. Yeah, I told the gentleman, he actually ended up becoming a licensee of our company because I told him, look, we've got telemedicine built into our system, and it does all this other stuff as well. So it'd be kind of silly just to offer that and nothing else.
Yeah, no kidding. Muhammad asked a question: is the EMRX system available also for Android tablets? You want to answer that one?
Well, I've heard that people are using it on Android, but we just haven't tested it, so I don't know. Have you heard anything?
Yeah. I know that those new Microsoft tablet that it is used for that. And again, Mohammed, what's needed for that is just that you're actually going to use a specific browser. So you'd use either Safari if you're certainly if you're going to be using an iPad, but if you're going to be using an Android tablet, you'd be using either Google Chrome or you'd be using Firefox on one of those. It's not necessarily iPad versus Android tablets. It's just the part about the browser in and of itself. So as long as that tablet can get the internet and it can go on the a Google Chrome or again Firefox, yes, you certainly can.
Hey Eric, real quick, I just received an urgent notification from my director of operations. He states that yes, 100% yes, it has been tested. It runs on a Chrome browser on an Android tablet.
Perfect. Yep.
So
See, so there you go. That answers that question. All right. Now let's changing subject here, and I know we've got probably about 20 more minutes here for the webinar. But let's talk real quickly about when you're looking for the right business. You certainly want to talk to other successful owners of the businesses, and I know that's one of the things, Adam, that we really strive for, making sure that we have not only successful people that around, but we want to make sure that those people can be talked to, and really all these people that we're showing right here are successful people. Now, some of these have 2 or 3 doctors. Some of them have over 300 doctors. So success is kind of like wherever you call success.
Yeah, I mean, we get that question a lot, like what is your success rate, what is your failure rate, and my first question back to them is, how do you define success? I mean, I would say on average, the people that go through our training, if they follow our plan that we give them, we give everyone a very specific, customized marketing plan to put into place at the end of the class. For people that follow that plan to the letter, they usually get their first doctor signed up in an average of about 30 to 60 days after the training class, and on average, they sign up, 4 to 5 doctors per year, and that's just one person, running the business. There are licensees that actually start hiring data entry people to help. There are licensees that start hiring marketing people, sales reps to help go out and market the business. So obviously, their business grows to be something quite large, and they're signing up a lot more than 4 or 5 doctors per year. So, it really just kind of depends on what your goals are, how much time you spend on the business. A lot of people start out part-time in the beginning, and that's okay. If you have a job right now where you can't quit, you've got good money coming in, you can do this business part-time very easily in the beginning, and so we can show you how to do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give some kudos out to Ernestine. Ernestine the prior part where we were talking about the telemedicine, Ernestine actually gave us a website down here. I just chatted that out to everybody. You'll see here's an article from Forbes about telemedicine. So for those that are doing your due diligence, thank you, Ernestine, for giving that to us. We really appreciate that. And folks, this is here you've got other prospects that are with you here on the webinar today, helping you out here. And that's what you're going to find out with even the folks that you're seeing here on the screen, is the network of support that you get here through ABS. Because I'm telling you, I could name just about every one of these, and each one of these people that we're seeing here on the screen right now has actually helped them, each other, and with other folks there as well. So now, Adam, what about ongoing cost and fees? I know we kind of briefly touched about that, about there's no cost whenever it comes down to, you know, support, but what about the ongoing cost and fees here at American Business Systems?
Well, like I mentioned at the beginning, Eric, that's how we are different. Whenever you decide to join American Business Systems and go through our program, you do have to pay our one-time license fee up front before you come to the training class. It's $24,990. And guess what? That's it. $24,990, that's it. You don't pay any. When you get back home and you start building your business, you don't pay ABS anything else. There's no license renewal fees, support renewal fees, nothing.
There you go, folks. That's as best and as quickly as we can make that. So let me ask this, though. Let me just kind of throw this one out there. I know this question hasn't come in, but what happens if you add another service? Do I have to pay for that service then?
No, that's another thing that we've done since the beginning of this company, is we always grandfather everyone in on new products and new services that we bring to the table. And that's something that, with your help, Eric, that we've been doing on a regular basis. You know, you are our head of research and development, so you've always got you know, your ear to the ground and listening to what doctors are asking for, what, you know, new things that the government is saying that, well, now you have to do it this way and do this and this and this, and so you're able to help us stay on top of, you know, the changes in the industry and know what doctors really need and want.
Yeah, and that's what's so good about here at ABS, because we all work with our licensees. We really work with them to make sure that they have everything that they need. And if they share with us a particular service or anything else like that, we develop it. We actually roll it out to the rest of our licensees. So again, as Adam says, you know, you're going to get any of the other services in the future, again, as being grandfathered in here. All right, so again, as we're looking and we're just trying to just going through some of these questions here, you need to really ask about their marketing strategies for obtaining clients. And I'm going to throw this up here, Adam, because you've already mentioned that we have dozens of different ways for that. But not only do we have dozens of different ways for getting people their clients, but I mean, we do have all of these other different services, which is all the marketing material that was actually created by our creative director.
That's right, and we actually just got a question from Deb that says, what about the marketing materials? So that was a good transition there. So yeah, I mean, what you're looking at here is a lot of the traditional print materials that we provide. So when you become a licensee, we actually take your name and logo, because with us, you actually create your own business entity, your own company name, and we can help you do that. But once that's completed, we actually print that, your name and logo, on all the printed marketing materials, and ABS is not mentioned on the materials. So you're presenting, you know, your own company, and you're marketing our branded service names, like iClaim and EMRX, for example. So, you know, we actually have over a dozen different marketing methods that we teach, you know, direct mail being one of them. That's probably one of the ones that people go for the least, honestly, because the methods that we teach in class are much more focused on getting a referral from someone. So in other words, we actually show you how to develop relationships with people in other industries who can be a really good referral partner for you. There are companies that work with doctors all the time, like IT companies, real estate people, CPAs, attorneys. Those are all companies and industries that work with doctors, but they don't do billing. So that's somebody that you want to get to know and develop a partnership with. And we show you how to do that in the training.
Absolutely. And along with that, with the whole marketing side of everything, certainly questions come in about what about restricted territories? Am I just locked down into my little cubbyhole of a zip code that might have only, a handful of doctors? Where else can I market?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, that's another good thing that sets us apart, and that's one of the big things that people really love about the ABS opportunity is we don't control hardly anything about how they want to grow their business. I mean, if you look at our training and support agreement that we'll talk about in a moment, it's only 4 pages. I mean, it's very, very light. If you guys have been dealing with any franchise opportunities, when you get their agreement, heck, it's 100 pages? I mean, it's just crazy paperwork. The franchise has all kinds of control over what you do with the business and how you develop it and how you run it, and it's almost like you're just an employee for another company. But with us, you can operate in any state. You can have clients in multiple states. You can have them in your neighborhood or 1,000 miles away. You can have data entry people working for you remotely in any part of the country. The sky's the limit with our opportunity. There is no limit to how big you grow this business.
That's it, folks. So I was talking with a gentleman earlier today about, what about other licensees being in my area? And Adam, you and I both know that there are some licensees that are in some of the bigger areas, say like Dallas, Fort Worth, Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, absolutely, we've got a few licensees in those areas, but sometimes they don't even have doctors in those areas. They'll have a doctor in Texas or in California or something like that.
Yeah, what we hear a lot is just through some random referral that they got from some person that they met at some networking event, they ended up signing up a client outside of their state, and now, like you said, the bulk of their clients are not even in their state.
Right.
There's no limits.
Well, again, I'll just use one of our licensees, Terrence Patterson, that lives in Boston, and he just got a pretty large doctor group in New Jersey. So there's an answer right there. I mean, there may be people that are licensees in New Jersey and didn't get those doctors. So, folks, you can have a doctor just really anywhere in the United States. So there is no restricted territory for you to market or not to market in here. Now, obviously, we try to keep the topic about potential income. We know we need to talk about it, but we kind of keep it as low key as we need to. So here's where you can literally go online and look at income potential. Now, if you remember earlier, I mentioned to you that if you go under income potential, not only can you find the medical billing income calculator, you'll also find the income replacement calculator, and then there's that section right there where you can say, find doctors in my area. So you could literally find doctors in your area by using our search there as well. However, let's just keep it very, very simple. I know we all like to do this, Adam, but we love to keep it just as simple as possible. Let's not talk about how, let's say I've got 100 doctors. How much money can I make? Let's keep it simple. One doctor seeing 20 patients a day, open 5 days a week. On average, a medical billing company is going to charge that doctor about 6% of the average claim amount, which is about $100, give or take $20 on either side. So that's going to happen like that. You can put that information into our system, click Submit, and when you click Submit, what you're going to get back is the calculator that populates out here. And again, we always talk in averages, about $30,000, $35,000 a year. Adam, you want to talk a little bit more about this? Because this could be different if someone finds a specialist versus someone, maybe just a family doctor.
Yeah, we're coming up on the top of the hour, so just quickly, go there, guys, after this webinar, go to that page and play with those numbers yourself. But that 6%, that's accurate. That's our licensees every week are signing up doctors at around 6 or 7%, and that's a percentage of their total revenue, their total income that you're making. So that's why that number is 31,200 on one client. Also, I want to mention that's about 1 hour of work per day. Our licensees can put a claim into the system in about 2 minutes. And for this one example, if it was a family doctor, you're dealing with about 20 claims per day, which is about, comes out to about an hour when it's all said and done. So just go out there and play with the numbers yourself. Everybody has a different income, that they need to get to or replace. So those calculators should help you out.
Yep, absolutely. And again, as Adam says, we're kind of getting close to the top of the hour, so we want to make sure that we get through the rest of this. And we've already talked about the ongoing support and training. Folks, we have a full 1-hour webinar on training alone, so go out and search those. But, talking about the support, I think this is one of the best supports that we can offer you, and that's when we do our live demonstrations of the system for you, for your doctors. Adam, you can't even put a price on this because this sells more for our licensees than anything else.
Yeah, I don't know of any other companies that do this. We actually do a live demonstration of the iClaim and the EMRX system that I mentioned previously. And so we have licensees that they just go through our 5-day class, and of course you're not going to learn everything there is to learn about this system or the industry or anything in those 5 days, but we show you the quickest way to get someone to say, yeah, I'd like to see a demo. Get a doctor to just say, yeah, I'll take a look at the demo, sure. So that's all you've got to do. And then you say, okay, well, I'll schedule a demo with my demo team, and that's us. That's ABS. And we actually do, through GoToMeeting, kind of like how we're doing now, we do a full demonstration of the system while you are just sitting there watching it. We're doing the whole thing and answering all their questions. So you don't have to know hardly anything about the system, and we're already promoting your business. We're doing these demos as if we're part of your company. So very big deal. It's building your credibility. The doctors can see that you're working with a big network of support partners and technology partners, and we're seeing close to a 50% sign-up rate on doctors that see a demo.
Yep, absolutely. We're doing that, and folks, we can schedule that pretty much around the time of the doctor and what you need. I think the last question that we're going to get into today is, seeing the copy of the agreement that you'll sign. Adam mentioned to you that for a lot of the franchises, man, you're going to get a stack of it. But again, we're just going to put up one sheet of 4 of our pieces of paper that you're going to read through, and it's very, very succinct, very easy to read through. I know that you want to kind of just briefly touch about this real quickly too, Adam.
Yeah, if you guys want to take a look at that, just contact your ABS rep. Give us a call at the 800 number. We can send you our training and support agreement. You can review it, and it's pretty simple. It basically says, look, you can do whatever you want with this business. We're going to train you, and we're going to show you exactly how to start generating revenue as quickly as possible. We're going to support you for free for the life of your business, and anytime you need help with any kind of marketing or technical issue, we're there for you. That's what it says. Yeah.
And then lastly, folks, the thing that you need to do is talk to references. And again, I'm just going to splash this page up here, some of the different people that you can literally talk to. Some of the people you may have saw on that previous one. We certainly can't put all of our references up here and the pictures of them, but folks, if you want to talk to any of these people or another list of folks that we have, we certainly want you to be able to touch base, because listen, they've been on these webinars. They remember the fears that you have is exactly the fears that they had, and these folks have gone out there, chiseled away, got their clients. Some of these have 2 or 3 clients. Some of them have multiple clients out there. And so if you want to talk to different folks out there, certainly we have all different types of people you can talk to. So again, as Adam just mentioned to you, touch base with us. We'll get you a copy of those names. We would love for you to touch base with those folks there as well. Adam, as we kind of wrap up here this afternoon, there's one question that's come in by Carmen, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the training classes we've got coming up, and then finally, really quickly, about the guarantee. But Carmen asked the question here, are there any licenses, state licenses fees, or federal license fees that you have to have?
Yeah, no, that's another beauty of this being in this industry doing medical billing as an outsourced solution for doctors. There's no federal license that you have to get. I mean, at a minimum, the only thing you have to do is register, your business name and, doing business as in your state, and that's it. That's really all that you get. Now, when you complete our program, we actually do certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. So you get a certificate of completion, and you can actually become what we call a CMRM. at the end of the training class. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know you don't have to go up, and I know there's some people on here who have said, "Gosh, do I have to go to school? Do I have to go to one of these certification classes? Go spend another $20,000 on top of that? Sit through their class for 9 months?" You know, Adam, we've actually taken people from those classes that have gone to those classes, sat there through 8 or 9 months of those classes. Number one, they can't find a job, let alone even start a business. So, folks, you do not need those training classes or those certifications to do medical billing. We're going to help you. We'll start you from ground zero. We'll tell you what a medical billing form looks like. We'll teach it to you. And by the time you get through with training, you'll know everything you're going to need to know. Speaking about training, let's talk about that with the money-back guarantee. Adam, I'm going to turn this over to you, and then we'll kind of wrap up with our next training class schedule.
Yeah, I know it sounds hard to believe, but it is truly, you go through 5 days of training and you're able to start signing up clients and making money right away. That's what sets us apart from those other schools and classes and all that kind of stuff. So 5 days of training and you can start making money. That's it. But as far as the guarantee goes, I mentioned this at the beginning of the webinar. You pay the license fee, you fill out our 4-page agreement, you send that in, and then we'll schedule you for our next upcoming training class. We do those every 6 weeks approximately. And we let you sit through the entire class and learn everything there is to learn about our opportunity and how the different services work, how you can make money on each one of them. We actually have a total of 9 different products and services. And if you decide for whatever reason that the system is not for you and you don't feel like you're going to be able to if it just doesn't meet your goals for what you want a business to be, really any reason whatsoever, you can say, look, I just don't think it's for me, and we'll give you a 100% refund of your money. And that's in writing in our agreement, and that's how much we believe in the quality of our training class.
There you go. Well, folks, again, we want to get you involved with our next training class as quickly as possible if you can attend that. And our next one that we have coming up is September the 29th through October the 2nd. That is one of 3 left for this year. It is just amazingly how fast 2015 has flying by, if I can say that correctly. Adam, it's just unbelievable just to see how quickly this year's going by, and we're already at getting close to the last parts of our training. And again, these are the last 3 days of September, the first 2 days of October, so you'll certainly want to get here the day before, October the 29th. You fly in here on a Sunday, the 28th. And right now we've got about half of that class full. We didn't have the number up here right now, but we got about half of it full. We try to keep about 20, 21 people in that class, Adam?
Yeah. So we have basically about 10 seats available, 10 seats left for that class.
Yeah, we want you to get involved in this particular class because there's going to be some exciting things talked about here because there is this big changeover that's happening here at the 1st of October. So you're not late for being in that, so be sure to give us a call here at 866-565-8413. Love to talk with you. Adam, thanks for taking your time today and jumping on here in the webinar and helping us out here. You've been great today. Thanks so much.
Hey, 4 o'clock. We nailed it.
We did, didn't we? We'll high-five each other, and we can tell your dad that we got it all done within an hour.
Yep. Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome, Adam. Have a good one, sir.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks so much.